Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and in this video, I'll be talking about doing my rundown and thoughts on the second episode of season 5 of Cobra Kai entitled Mole. Of course, I reference this in reference to Chosen, who we saw at the end of the first episode. He was among the senseis that Terry Silver employed or kind of recruited to see who would want to be a sensei in Cobra Kai. The reveal was pretty cool. The fact that we saw Chosen kind of enacting their plan, him and Daniel's plan to kind of get in there, infiltrate the Cobra Kai, and learn Terry's secrets and try to, as Daniel said, cut the head off the dragon, or was that the head off the dragon, the head off the snake, right? Now, this episode, I thought I was going to see one or even two major characters be killed off. I don't know how Cobra Kai would do that, especially the tone of the show. It's not anything about that. Someone will get very, very physically injured, or like what happened with Miguel when he was paralyzed temporarily. I'm talking about Miguel, and I'm talking about Chosen. I'll talk about that as these my rundown and thoughts go on. But let's run down the episode. We start off in it's like 1972. We see a young Chosen who's being trained under his uncle Sato. The guy, I gotta say, looked just like a young Sato, the actor who played him in Karate Kid 2. And we see that they are doing finger jabs or thrust into sand. I've done that before, and it's not very pleasurable when you start doing it. You gotta do it so that you toughen up your fingers, and it's all about mind over matter. It's all about just sucking in the pain and doing it even though you draw blood. I saw some of the sand, there's blood in there and stuff like that. And it really is a good way to kind of test your metal, if you will. Like if you take it, you know. The guy who's playing Sato was saying, military training ain't enough. He's telling him again. He sees Sato, young Chosen doing the same thing. His uncle notices right away that there is a sandbag underneath the sand because Sato is trying to. Sato keep saying that. Chosen is trying to cheat his way through. He revealed later on that he thought doing that would be better than doing it the honorable way. Now, he takes the, you see Sato take the sandbag away, and then once he turns around, he actually asked him, "Do you want to be a man? Do you want to, yeah, or be a coward?" But then he takes the bag and he just throws it, puts it away, puts it to the side, and when his uncle turns around, Chosen puts it back in and continues his training when Sato wasn't looking. Now, we quickly go and we see Johnny and Robbie. They get their van towed. Uh, the guy was telling Johnny, "Hey, you need to move your van. You're in a towaway zone." And then he's thinking, "Oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's a cool, isn't it a cool vehicle? Yeah, it's custom. The Eagle Fang thing on there, the sign. It's custom made or something like that. He doesn't know because he doesn't understand. He knows the basic Spanish, but he doesn't know what the guy is asking. All of a sudden, Robbie notices it, and then Johnny knows it, but it's too late. Their vehicle gets towed away, and the way to get the money because they need $200, 4,000 pesos. He thought it was $1 million. I don't know. I don't know where he got his thing, but Robbie actually knew. He said, "Oh, it's $200. We don't even have half of that." So what do they do? Yeah, they're walking around and they notice these guys gambling, and they're eating hot peppers. So his dad, Johnny wanted to do it, but Robbie says, "I got this." Him and his mom watched it on what's that on YouTube. When those guys eat those hot peppers, there's like celebrities that come on and do it. So he goes to do it, and to me it was pretty funny what happened when they did that. He's doing it. He's doing a good job, but you see his shirt's all sweaty. Robbie, and he's hanging in there, eating the hot peppers. The other guy across from him, bald-headed dude, is not very convinced. You know, look at this gringo. He's sweating. Look at him. Look at all that. Look at him. And then Robbie goes. He wants to go. He wants to really prove to this guy that he's got what it takes. Like he's not gonna just settle with what he's been eating. He says, "Give me the hottest pepper you have." And I'm remembering what did they call the pepper? El Diablo or something like that. But pretty much means it's the hottest pepper in Mexico. He eats it. He does the whole thing where he kind of rubs his hands together. He has it in there. He does this. He does that, right? And he eats it. And he's able to eat it without any kind of, like he wasn't sweating any harder. He wasn't about to puke up. He does the milk right there, which is pretty sick. I don't know why they would have milk if they're going to drink the milk. I'd rather have water, but then again, they tell you if it's something hot, you don't eat or you don't drink cold water. You don't drink cold anything, really. I think you're supposed to like eat bread or you to soak up the hot thing or drink something hot. Right. They do it. He ends up, winning. The guy tries it. And the other guy, he eats it and he drinks some milk because it's too hot, and then he spits it. He spits out, and all the milk goes all over Robbie and Johnny. That was funny. I mean, I absolutely loved that scene. It was funny. It was funny, man, because I like eating hot peppers, but I've never done anything like that where, give me the hottest pepper you have and, whatever competition, whatever. But I like hot stuff, but, I wouldn't do that, but it was great to see that Robbie was able to kind of put up with that. He was able to do that, but then you find out that, he was drinking milk, I guess because it was still hot. And then he's all like, how did you do it? Like, what was your thing? He goes, how did you eat that? He goes, well, I didn't eat it. And what happened was that I guess a sleight of hand, I don't know what it was. He got the pepper, sleight of hand, and he put the gummy. I think it was a gummy. I don't know, those things that Johnny got him, got them in the first episode, right? I think it was a gummy or some gummies or something like that. Not what it was, but he switched it out and ate that instead. And it would come in handy later on, and I'll talk about that. Now, now Miguel discovers that Hector, he doesn't know he exists. He confronts his mom, gets into quite a heated argument with his mom. But she warns him that he's a dangerous man. He doesn't see that. None of us see it. We see it gradually in this episode that, he's pretty much what Carmen said. He even talks about, doesn't say her name, but he says that he was married once when he was, around, what it calls, age, when he was right around Miguel's age. And she said that she left him. He said he never had kids. The girl that he's with is just some girlfriend, I guess. And the son, Luis, that's her son from another guy. And he's telling him about the women are evil and that they're only after your money. That's the only reason why, like I mean, now they find out, they end up going to an underground fight ring, and it's implied that Hector is a wanted man who has a shady history in Ecuador. Now Miguel realizes his mom was right. This was actually when they decided, because those two are wearing the FBI shirts. I don't understand why nobody in the club looked at the back of their shirt that said "Female Body Inspector." You would think they would look at that and go, "Okay, it's not really the FBI," because it would say Federal Bureau of Investigation, wouldn't it, if they were the real FBI? But yeah, I guess they see FBI and that's enough for them. And then they end up they had an encounter with Johnny did actually, because he told Robbie, "I got this." And he got these MMA fighters, and he's doing pretty good. The one main guy, I think his name was Vincente. I'm trying to remember, but regardless, he gets him down. He gets Johnny down, has him in a rear naked choke or something. He has him in a submission hold, some type of a hold, and then you hear Dad, here take, catch this. He has the pepper. Robbie has the pepper. Throws it to his dad. He gets it. And he starts wiping it, scrubbing it across the guy's eyes, and then he's able to take the guy down. And through all the melee, all that, Johnny looks up and he sees Miguel, and he yells out for him. Miguel can't hear him because of all the noise and everything. And at that point, that's when we call it Hector decides, let's leave, let's get out of here, because he thinks that the FBI is on him. And he told him earlier that he's made a lot of enemies. He's done some illegal stuff that he's probably on most wanted posters and stuff like that. Who knows? And he didn't say what he did. All he said that what did he do in Ecuador? That's what Miguel asked him. He said, "Well, I was successful." He said that women don't respect him, and even the government in Ecuador didn't respect him. And they head out. They go to this place. It's a bar or something, maybe a place that he owns. I don't know, but they're at a bar. He asked them, "Did you want chicharrones?" And he's like, "No, I'm not hungry." And this is right after he finds out that his dad doesn't he said pretty much doesn't even care about people. He doesn't care about things like others and all that stuff. It just made Miguel think to himself, he don't care about no, he don't care about me. And then he goes outside of this place, and his dad's in there, eating a chicharron and drinking his sorrows away, his worries away. And he calls his mom and says he's sorry. He's crying. He knows that his mom was right, and they had got into a fight. I think that he felt bad because he yelled at his mom. And mom knows better. I mean, just because he sees, that's probably what she saw when she first met Hector, right? Nice guy, very charismatic, good-looking guy, and she got all taken into that world of his, and then she didn't, and like he said, she didn't really like what he was doing in his job and how he made money and stuff. Even his mom, Miguel's grandmother, he said she's the worst. She was the worst. So you know that he was talking about Carmen and his grandma. I think he calls her Yaya. And that was really like a very, very touching moment. Like when you saw Miguel, you know, you see Miguel, and he's found by Johnny outside. Right when he's talking to his mom, he says, "Mom, I'm coming home." And then when he sees Johnny, he reunites with him, and they give a big hug to each other. Right over Johnny's shoulder, just right over his right shoulder, he sees Robbie. I'm thinking, uh-oh. Still a little bit of tension between them, but you kind of see that he was kind of cool with it. I mean, at that moment, who knows? The next scene, maybe the next episode, you might see him get into it with Robbie. And I'm thinking that these two are going to, come together. There's a lot of history between them. There's no way of getting around that at the moment. You know what I mean? He kind of paused a little bit. He was holding Johnny's back like this, really tight. And then when he saw Robbie, he kind of let loose a little bit. He kind of loosened it a little bit. And he really didn't react in a negative way. He just said, he's just thinking like maybe what's he doing here, you know? But we're gonna see what happens with that. Probably in the next episode, or maybe a couple episodes, later. But it's been pretty linear. It's like the episodes are kind of still connecting with each other. It's not like one episode and then whatever happened in the first episode, episode 3 will be the one that continues it. But we've been kind of seeing it. And the main thing we see, of course, is Chosen still being there, as one of the possible senseis for Cobra Kai. Now, one of the things I thought, seriously, because his dad had a gun, he put it on the counter, all willy nilly, like it was nothing to him, and Miguel's like, whoa, kind of thing. But when Miguel went outside and he went to go hug him, the guy, Hector was told by one of his guys in the club that the FBI was after him. I thought he would see that, he would come out and he would shoot Miguel. Now, I'm not saying Miguel would have died, but I was thinking that was going to happen. Like Miguel would get shot in the side, or maybe Johnny would jump in the way and Johnny would get shot. I doubt that they're going to kill these guys off, but it would be one of those things where it's a cliffhanger, where he's in the hospital, one of them, but I'm glad. I'm like, whew. I'm like, I was like this, like, man, my heart, it was like pounding. I thought that something was going to happen, but nothing happened. It was great. They reunited, and now they're on their way home to Carmen, and Carmen's going to definitely be relieved, and I'm happy that, Miguel actually got to see what his dad was like. And I don't think he's going to ever try to think he didn't leave the guy any information or anything like that. does he even know his name? Yeah, I think he did, but I don't know if probably dad's just gonna write him off as just a friend. Like, he's a guy I met. He probably meet a lot of guys, a lot of people in his life, and he just goes, okay, on to the next meeting or person or whatever. Now, Silver. Meanwhile, he introduces the new lineup of senseis to in front of the students, and he becomes acquainted with Chosen. Now, after like he was, I love what he was doing with Tori. He noticed that Tori was just being lazy now because she's the champion. So he noticed that, oh, okay, so because you're the champion, you don't have to put any effort. He was doing these side kicks into a pad that he was holding. And he noticed it, of course, being a long time master like him, he knows that. A lot of people do that. You become champion, you get lazy. I've seen it. And it's like, and then they just think, oh, I'm champion and I don't have to really work hard. And he was trying to say that there's one thing that's important in martial arts in general. She goes, what, honor? Is that it? He goes, well, sometimes that's all that anybody has. He thought he lost his honor, and he got it back. Like he was told in like season 4 when he was talking to Daniel, and how after he lost to Daniel in Karate Kid 2, he was like going down a wrong path, and he felt he lost his honor. But then his uncle brought him back in, took him back in, and trained him and helped him to find honor again. Um, he was what's called it now he was talking to her, and then when he you know was got able to get through to her, even Terry goes, "What's going on here?" And he says, we're working on the head first, like clear thinking, whatever. I'm kind of paraphrasing it, but he was pretty much saying that he was going to help her to focus, everything, and not let any past things, get in the way, because that's what she was doing, and that she had a lot of thoughts on her mind, especially with Terry. And then she did a couple of kicks, and he actually was, he was actually impressed. And then he said, "Just do this." And then he was a wooden man or a dummy, not a wooden man, but a dummy. And then he's like hitting it with various moves. And Terry noticed it right away and said, "Tang Sudo. You study Tang Sudo?" He's like, "Yes." He even told him that he's from Japan. He was from, he's Kyoto. He was trying to tell him. Of course, he's not going to tell him he's from Okinawa. He's not going to tell him that he knows Daniel. And then afterwards, he actually invites Chosen to his house for dinner. He has this tequila, and gives it to him, and then they go to another room where there's all these swords, samurai swords, I guess, and talking to him. And all along, he's trying to, you know, see what Chosen's about, see what Chosen. He gave him a name, and he ended up saying that people call me Joe. And all along, he was testing him to see if he's on the up and up. He actually finds out later on, because his identity does get revealed because people from Kyoto, he was telling him that people from Kyoto, senpai, that's what they say, they say that when they salute, when they drink the tequila. And then he said karai, or something like that, I'm trying to remember. And he knew. You could see in his eyes, before it was even revealed. His eyes, you could see it was like the wheels were turning. Like he's like, really. And that happens, right? And then you know, I mean, he gave Tori a decision. You're gonna leave. I won't hold it against you, because she confronted him about paying off the ref. Like he says, hey, you're the future. You're a champion. And he goes, oh, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna pay the ref off again? And he says, oh, And she's all, you don't deny it? He goes, no, because it was the survival of Cobra Kai. That's the reason why that he did what he had to do. She was very, very torn, And he said, you can leave, and I won't hold it against you. But you come back tomorrow, I'm gonna make you the future of this dojo. She does come back the next day and finds out that all classes have been canceled. So she's like, she's all cool with it, and she, leaves. And as she's leaving, she sees Chosen, and they bow their heads and out of respect, of course. And she leaves, and he's in there. He goes, "Am I early?" And he goes, "Oh no, you're right on time." And all of a sudden, all six of those other senseis come out. He tells them the whole thing, like I said, where he knows that he's from Okinawa, he's not from Kyoto, and and the whole thing. And then he talks to the six guys and says, if any of you guys, take him down, I will, hire you as my new sensei, and I'll even triple it. So he does, and these guys apparently aren't as skilled as well. He probably be skilled at, these guys will probably be skilled against the average Joes, but they're going up against Chosen. Chosen can be ruthless as well as be honorable, right? So these guys were coming at him. I think he broke one guy's arm. He turned him around and then spun him around. And then when the guy trying to kick Chosen kicks that guy, he's all sweeping these guys. He's all kicking these guys in the shins, making them fall down. And these guys keep coming back. It's just like they didn't get the hint, And he hits that one. This level. The last guy, after he took out all these guys, the last guy he does a nerve hold, and then the guy just drops. And what I like about Chosen is that he then looked at Terry and he said, "Now we draw a line." Says, "You stay away. You say you don't you like you stay away, or you don't go near. You don't touch the Miyagi-do students or Miyagi-do, and you don't go near the LaRussos." Warning them vehemently. You stay away from the LaRussos, or you're going to what's the word that he said? God, it was such a good thing too. I forgot, you know. But he pretty much said that if you don't, you're gonna feel pain. Like he's going to definitely give it to him like he did to those guys. You know. So like the what you call it when you say the shots have been fired. Warnings have been given, and I cannot wait to see Terry and Chosen go at it. This episode really was it just keeps this show going. Just keeps the season going. I love the episode. I love how it went from they showed everybody. You showed Miguel's side in Mexico with Johnny and Robbie. You see Chosen there, and then you see Daniel, but it was only that one scene where he was trying to find him a jacket that fits. that that jacket, he's like this, Chosen. Oh, it's too tight. And he goes, "Oh, I got a gray one that's about a size up," and it actually fit because you see him going to Terry's house and all that. And I just love how it was written. I love the dialogue, the story, especially with Johnny and Robbie. And it's just like I like how William Zabka just continues to just embody his character Johnny. He's just still the same guy. No matter where he's at, he's that rough around the edges guy and things like that. And it seems like Robbie is the one that is the voice of reason. Sometimes he has to reel his dad back in. Sometimes because he knows that his mouth can really get him in trouble. And Chosen, it's like he was really chomping at the bit. Like you could see in his mouth, like he was just like. There's sometimes he's like, kind of like he wanted to say that I'm here to fuck you up. I'm here to mess you up, dude. I'm here to make sure that you go away for a long time or go away for good. Speaking of that, they haven't shown Kreese yet, and I can't wait to see that. See where Kreese is at. I mean, he's in prison, obviously, or in jail, and I wonder how that's going to be solved, or how that's going to be, you know, what's going to happen with that. Like, is he going to be, you know, what's the word? But it's like, is he going to be able to be exonerated and be seen as someone who you got to remember. But going back to when he was a young kid before he went to into the military and serving in Vietnam, he was a good guy. He had a girlfriend and all that stuff. And then, of course, the girl died while he was in the service, and even his own captain, whoever that is, didn't even say, "Oh, she's dead." Like how nonchalant he was. "Oh, your girl, she's dead." And that was when they were fighting. Remember, above the pits, those where those snakes were and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I said, with Cobra Kai, I am doing this every week, and I'll be uploading it around the same time, Friday morning. Because I want this to I want this opportunity, I want this thing to last. You know what I mean? And I read that Netflix is going to go back, or not even go back because they never did that. They want to do weekly series, like they want to do it weekly and not just dump it on people all at once. I mean, there's people out there that like that, but sometimes people like myself, I don't want the experience to go away. Yeah, I'm gonna binge everything, and then it's like, okay, when is season 6 coming out? When is season this coming out? I like it week to week. It has to be a really really great series for me to do. I'm not saying that Cobra Kai isn't, but sometimes even it's a great series, but I want it to last. And sometimes there are those shows that I watch and I just binge it. I can't. The Boys. I did that with The Boys. Season what was that? Season 3 that just came out. Great show. I loved it. Amazing. You know. And yeah, I mean, I absolutely enjoy Cobra Kai. Karate Kid fan since day one, and I absolutely enjoy just the characters, original characters that can stand the test of time. You see them now, and then their kids, and seeing where they're going through, and kind of like the same thing with what Johnny and Daniel went through, you know. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I just absolutely enjoyed the show. It really was great. This was really an amazing show, and I thought another one when I thought someone was going to get killed was I thought was Chosen. I thought not killed, but he was going to get hurt real bad. I'm thinking I'm waiting for Terry to jump him. Like he gets these guys, he knocks them all down, and then Terry comes in with a move and disables Chosen or something like that. And it didn't happen, and I'm glad it didn't. I don't want to see anything happen to these guys. It might happen. We could still get surprised this season, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing what happens. Um, you know, Tori's back. Is Tori coming back just so that she can keep an eye on things? Like she really doesn't want to work under that type of environment? She's always going to think to herself that I didn't win that fairly. Even though Terry said, yeah, 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 you won. Even though I did, you won. Okay. There was times where, remember, when what do you call it? I believe that Sam got points taken away, or she landed a punch or a kick, and the referee didn't count it. So it's just like she did it. She didn't win it. She's very very gifted in the on the mat. She really knows what she's doing, Tori. But I don't understand why he thought. I guess he felt that Sam was better than Tori, or he just wanted to ensure that they got the win because they were surviving, right? They're in survival mode. Cobra Kai, if they didn't win this, they might go away forever, right? But I could talk about this episode and Cobra Kai for as long as I can, as I really enjoyed this. I really did, and I'm looking forward to every episode, every week. I'm going to, like I said, watch it week to week, and hopefully those of you stop by will continue to watch it with me. Watch my videos, and if you want to, please comment, like, share this video. Please continue to show your support. Those of you who happen to come along this video and see me here yapping away, if you like it, please subscribe as well. I'm trying to build my channel. I'm over 500 subs now, about 519, almost 520. And I'm just going along. I'm going for the ride. And as much people can come along and subscribe to my channel, the more the merrier. I really, really enjoy doing these videos. I do it pretty much for, just a way for me to vent sometimes. They say if you got negative energy, find something that you can do you can channel your negative energy into something positive. And this is what I like doing. Sometimes I get some negative energy in my life, and I want to do this so that I can talk and I can just get it out in a positive way you know. But yeah, that is my video. My rundown and thoughts on Cobra Kai Season 5. And this episode is episode 2, and it's titled Mole. Damn good, people. Damn good. I enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys are enjoying Cobra Kai as well. So, anyway, that's my video. So, for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, appreciate it. And in closing, and as always, take care.